We finally have a first look at the Misc/MIRAI Fury. Along with ISC, the Pipeline Discord has uncovered details about the Fury and its bomber variant. Let's take a look at everything we know about the Fury and its variant, coming to Invictus Fleet Week on May 19th. Hello folks, Space Tech here. And with today's ISC, we not only got a look at the Fury, but also got some insight about the company that makes it, MIRAI. MIRAI, which is Japanese for future, is a sub or sister brand of Misc. With Misc being a primarily industrial ship company, making ships like the Prospector and the Starfarer, the leaders at Misc felt as though they needed to create another performance brand to represent the top-of-the-line ships and vehicles. This brand starts off with their first ship, the MIRAI Razor. Originally a Misc ship, CIG has decided that Razor, with all of its variants, fits better with a brand focused around performance. So come 3.19, the Razor will officially be part of MIRAI. Moving on to the Fury. We got these close-up shots of the Fury, followed by a full view from the front. Leaks indicate that the Fury has 4 size 2 weapons equipped. This amount of firepower gives the Fury great alpha damage, especially at its size. With those weapons, it would put the firepower of the Fury around the same as some other light fighters. That being said, the Fury is leaked to have, quote, best-in-class maneuverability and fully integrated cutting-edge Xi'an tech, unquote. This, combined with the way these engines seem to be placed around the corners of the ship, mean that I think the Fury has a strong possibility of being even more maneuverable than ships like the P-72, let alone light fighters like the Arrow or Gladius. Early leaks indicate that when folded up, the Fury takes about half the space of a P-72. If this is true, we could see as many as 10 Furies packed inside of one C2. Each one of those would be extremely difficult to track due to their mobility and hard to hit given their tiny dimensions. Truly a formidable foe. This brings us to the variant of the Fury, the MIRU. While the MIRU translates to see, watch, or look when directly translated from Japanese, your enemies aren't going to be doing any of that, as you bring to bear a whole 20 missiles that replace those size 4 weapons. At this point, we don't know if it'll have any weapons at all outside of the missiles, but I don't think that's likely for balance reasons. So given this unbelievable offensive power of both variants, how on earth is CIG going to keep these things balanced? First and foremost, the leaked descriptions of these ships both explicitly mention the words short-ranged combat and snub. To me, this is obviously stating that this snub craft, unlike the Pisces, will not have a quantum drive at all. This seems like a really great trade-off to me, since the snub category of ships is thus far very underpopulated, and so this ship won't be replacing or taking the place of any dedicated fighters like the Arrow or Gladius in regular bounty hunting. If anything, I believe we'll end up seeing the snub used far more in multi-crew scenarios, which I think is super enjoyable and brings a sense of balance to the ship. Losing its quantum drive also means that the bomber variant will require someone to reload its missiles manually once it's safely redocked in its mothercraft. Or it'll be completely useless for the rest of the fight. For the gun variant, I think they will end up balancing the ship by giving it extremely small capacitors, curbing the snub's ability to keep up a high sustained damage. Of course, if the lasers are replaced with ballistics, the ship ends up completely out of the fight unless it can find a pad. Other factors to consider for the ship will be its relatively small signature, allowing it to infiltrate Jumptown in large numbers if its carrier ship lands farther out. That is, of course, if CIG doesn't also give the snub extremely limited hydrogen fuel to prevent the ship from being used solo with the carrier just parked very far out. Another interesting question is, what ships do you think the Fury will fit inside? Its opening animation makes it look like it almost folds up a little bit. Do we think that it'll require a full-size one pad like the ones found in an 890 jump? Or perhaps it'll fit into the bespoke hangar of a Carrack? If it really folds up small, it will hopefully fit into cargo bays like the one in the Corsair and the Crusader Hercules series, allowing you to carry multiple of them. So do you think that the Fury and its variants are going to be balanced in this state? Of course, these are leaks, so anything can change between now and the release of these ships. Which ones are you most excited about? As always, I will have an in-depth video covering the Fury and its bomber variant and all the details and comparisons as soon as it releases. So like and or subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Take care and see you in the next one.